Hey everyone, it's Hannah Saber from HR Images. In today's video, we'll be reviewing the Sony a7C with the 24, 40 and 50mm G-series lenses, so stay tuned. It's been a while since I've done a review. As you guys know, I've been a bit quiet for the last 2 years. Partially will be due to COVID, back and forth with lockdowns, unable to be able to get access to gear, review different things. But now I'm starting to kick things back off, and I am really excited to do a review on the Sony a7C as well as the 3G series lenses from Sony. What I did love about the Sony a7C with the 3G series lenses was how compact it was. So here I got my Timber Messenger 10 bag. It's a very small bag. I carry it everywhere I go, and having the a7C, it's very nice and compact, smaller than the other a7 bodies. So it's great for travel, great for everyday shooting. You want to go, you don't want to carry and lug a big bag of lenses, G Master lenses and that. A7C has been good. Ever since lockdown and prior to lockdown, I borrowed twice from Sony the a7C, going around shooting with it and carrying it in a small bag. It was just felt a lot of weight off my shoulders, just carrying a big backpack or a bigger messenger bag just to have more lenses, G Master lenses, things like that. They're a lot larger compared to the G series lenses. Here I can fit two small, the 50 and the 40mm G series lenses in my messenger bag, as well as the 24 mounted on the a7C, very comfortably. One thing about these lenses, as you can see how compact they are. Being surprisingly, for the 50mm, 40mm and the 24, they're actually the same height as all of them, and they kept them very compact, very lightweight, and being the G series lenses, they have really good quality. Not a G Master quality, but still great quality for a G series lens. Being compact, and the good thing about them as well, if you like to go and travel to do, and you want to shoot some long exposures, and you want an ND filter, polarizer, or a UV filter, the three of these lenses take a 49mm thread. So you can actually just get one polarized filter, one ND filter, or whatever filter you want, and you can just share it amongst the lenses. You don't have to get 3 different sets just to cater for all this. For example, if I have my 35 G Master, as well as 24 and my 85, they're different filter threads. So I've got to have a filter size for each lens. Where this one, you're just carrying the one set, and you are able to switch over with the lenses. One thing I loved about the G Master lenses was the aperture ring. I got really excited when I saw Sony brought out in the G lenses the aperture ring. You've got the D-click button as well, and you've got a focus hold button. So basically, and some people don't like it, but for me, I did prefer having the aperture ring, just easier and quicker to be able to switch apertures while you're on the go. So some people, when they do street photography, I know that they prefer just to shoot in aperture priority mode. Instead of you just quickly doing on the camera, you can just quickly switch over. And this is what I loved about the aperture ring. The Sony a7C, comparing it to a lot of the other a7 cameras, they don't have the custom buttons as the other bodies. But being a travel photography and using it just for travel, or just if you're going out and you just want something small with you, carrying with you, it didn't faze me much not having the custom buttons, because when I do a lot of weddings and events, or if I'm filming YouTube videos or whatever, I'll have on the a7S III, for example, a custom button set for each different setting. Whereas the a7C, I don't have many custom buttons, probably just one custom button there you can set. But it didn't faze me much, as it's more of a travel lens, travel camera. I didn't faze it as much. It is a full frame camera, so the images that this camera produces are really good in quality. Coming from the a7R IV, the flip screen, felt uncomfortable using it on the a7S III because I was so used to flipping up. Even though a lot of people wanted the screen out, so when you're doing videos or anything, or you want to vlogging, this screen actually does justice for that. After a while, I did get used to it, and I actually fell in love with it now. So I'm shooting the A7S III, for example, and I've got this flip screen flipped out to me so I can see myself, making sure I'm in focus and knowing what I'm focusing on. So that was a plus with the A7C body with the flip screen. You've also got touch operation on this, as well as steady shot on the A7C. And with the A7C being more compact, the grip is not as large as the A7R4 and S3. So it has a smaller grip, keeping it nice and compact. They've got rid of the bigger viewfinder here compared to the other cameras, and they've just put the small one there. For me, I'm sort of kind of not used to looking at this small viewfinder. I kind of prefer the A7S III and the R4 viewfinder because it's a larger. So I'm more relying on this screen when I take my photos using the A7C. The 24mm G lenses, I'll be showing some images as well as I'm going through with the lenses and talking about them. I found the 24mm a great focal length. Now, I love my 24G Master lens, and I'll take that everywhere I go. It's great for like environmental portraits as well as like your landscape. So it's not too wide and you can get enough of your environment in the shot. So if you're doing some landscape shots like I've done here, some little architectural shots, everything, it does capture nicely in frame. So you can get enough of there so it's not too wide. I do have the 12 to 24, so if you, depending on what you're shooting, if you go wider, you can kind of lose your main focus in frame. And the 24mm has been great in terms of for landscapes or, you know, environmental portraits or even architectural photography. Another good thing I love about the 24G series lens is being a 24mm and compact, having this with the A7C, it is great for vlogging. So if you're a vlogger and you're looking for a nice compact kit to use, this is really good and highly recommended. Here's a little clip of me just showing you how it will look like as a normal vlog. I have my hands normal. When I've extended it, I can get more in frame, or if I just keep my hands normal, you're just getting yourself in frame. So you got best of both worlds. I know a lot of people when they go vlogging, they're in the city, they're going places, they want to show the environment. The 24mm does capture that. So you can extend your arm if you want to get more in the frame of your vlogs. And that's a great combination if you are a vlogger and looking for something to use that's compact and lightweight as well. For me, I'm not a 100% fan of a 50mm. A lot of you who have followed me, I don't use 50mm lenses as often. Even though I have owned a 50mm, and I will be getting a 50mm G Master lens as I shoot weddings and stuff, whereas a 50mm will be perfect for me in terms of not enough room to use an 85mm and it's too wide at 35mm. So I like to balance it where I use a wide angle lens as well as a larger focal length. The 50mm is a great lens as well, so you can capture your great portraits. You can even do like some environmental, some close-up landscape shots with this lens and giving you great detail as well in your images. The 50mm, these three lenses I found are actually really sharp, especially when you're shooting wide open. The 50mm is a 2.5, while the 24 is a 2.8, and the 40mm is a 2.5. As you can see with the images captured with the 50mm GM, the G series lens, it is great in terms of, you know, you're capturing your landscapes, you're capturing some, you know, some environmental some portraits, or I didn't get a chance to 100% test this portraits, so I've used my daughter on a scooter and I was just playing around capturing images, and these are just sort of kind of captured in my time because we had the lockdown. Now, my favorite focal length out of these three will have to be the 40mm. I am actually going to be getting the 40mm as well as the A7C because I personally find that as a great street photography kit where you don't want to lug around larger gear. Obviously with street photography, you want to capture the raw emotion that's happening in the street. And I've always found the 40mm to be perfect for that, especially combining it with the A7C. It's not going to scream photography like having the A7S III and a G Master lens. This compact kit, for me, it's a perfect street photography, and this is what I will be getting as well. Now, the 40mm, I've done a workshop where I have hosted a Spider-Gwen theme. As you can see on the images of the 40mm, how amazing this lens. The portraits of these that I've captured with this lens is just sharp, unbelievable. I fell in love with this lens the first time I've used it, being sharp and quick in focus. All these three lenses I've found are very good in focus. And with the 40mm, you can get some nice close-up shots and not having it distorted like a 24mm. And if you have the room, you can step back and get more of an environmental portrait, capturing a bit more in the scene as well as your portrait shots. And this is what I love about the 40mm, and this is hands down my most favorite lens out of all three. Just to show you how close, the good thing about these three lenses as well, you can get very close to detail as well. So if you want detail type shots, just these are images captured by the 24, the 40 and the 50, very close up, as close as possible to my subject, showing you how close it is, and the bokeh. Now the bokeh on the 40mm and 50mm are buttery, obviously because they're closer focal length, so you get more compression in the background opposed to the 24. Despite the 24 being a wider lens, it still does give a nice bokeh. Here's just a quick 3 video I've done, just showing you how quick the autofocus is if you're going to use it for video, if you're going to use it for vlogging. The 24mm and the 40mm and 50mm, as you can see these videos, how quick the focus, so me jumping in and out of frame, the focus is always catches on my eye, being able to keep everything in focus and having that nice smooth transition. Some lenses, if you notice when you do some videos, you get that jumpiness when it comes to transition in focus, where this one, it gives that nice smooth transition, which I really like. Some people have asked me, would you get all 3 lenses? It depends on your style of shooting now. If you're gonna get the 40 and the 50mm, they are very close in focal length, so I personally will say I wouldn't get the 2. I will get the 24 and I will get either the 40 or the 50. So it just depends on your style of shooting. Some people don't like the 40mm, they prefer the 50, or vice, like me, I prefer the 40 over the 50mm. It's not too close and it's not too wide. And combining with the 24mm, I found these two a very good kit. But for me, I will definitely be getting the 40mm alongside with the A7C, using it for a travel street photography kit. That's a quick review of the Sony A7C with the 3G series lenses. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like, share, subscribe to my channel. Do check out my Sony A7, A9 group and my Sony Alpha Sydney group. If you are in Australia and you do travel to Sydney, do check that group out. I do run some workshops and I do a lot of advertisement on my workshops on that, and you can share your images, talk about Sony, talk about gear, whatever you like in these groups. And I also have an art of portrait photography, maybe focused more on portraits. I've created this large portrait group, so do check out these 3 groups. The links will be below. Until then guys, I hope you guys enjoy and we'll catch you later.